This is the EcoFlow River 2 Pro portable power station, and this just might be one of the best upgrades for your bug out kit that you're probably not even thinking about. Now, shout out to EcoFlow for sending this out and sponsoring this video, but they don't get any input on this video before I post it. Matter of fact, they're seeing it the first time, just like the rest of you guys. So September was National Emergency Preparedness Month. During that month, I was reached out to by a lot of companies that wanted to send me products, portable power stations, generators, etc. That has happened literally every year for 3 years since I've had this YouTube channel. I have said no to every single company except for 3. One of those companies will never see a video because they just don't need me for pooping on their product for 8 to 10 minutes. The other company is fine, but this is the product that drew my attention and seemingly grasped my attention the best. The EcoFlow River 2 Pro is a portable power station. It's under 1,000 kilowatt hours, but it still packs a punch. This thing in total has 768 watt hours, and it can support all sorts of stuff that might need like essential one-day usage. But why would you want to put this in your bug out kit? Now, if your bug out kit involves a vehicle, it might involve a bike, it might involve you going out on foot, or just an emergency situation altogether. Something like this can run a CPAP machine, which you might need to keep yourself powered overnight so that you wake up in the morning. All jokes aside, that's pretty important. You might need this to run something critical for your child. I had a child that was born at 27 weeks. When he finally came out the incubator, he finally came home from the NICU, there was critical items that had to be run for him at all times. Something like this is critical for that. Even if you need to charge laptops and phones, even if the power is out, sometimes your internet provider may be fiber, it may be still working. That might be your only way to communicate with people. Powering satellite devices, things that work on GPS, Garmin type devices. Or if you're at a soccer game and you just want a little bit of extra power, this could be the solution for you. But it does have a lot of functionality. It does have three USB type A's that you can use for power output. It has a USB type C, which not only is good for power delivery, but you can also use that to recharge this device, and this thing can pump out 100 watts of power, so that it easily can pump, can fully charge basically some of your most beefy laptops, except some, maybe not those big gaming beasts. But if you do have one of those big gaming beasts of a laptop, you do have 4 of the 110 ports down below. You can plug stuff up with that. It also has 2 DC barrel plugs, so you can run such items as lights or anything that has those DC barrel plugs, which are very unique. They're more sturdy plugs. Some of those items require that to use versus simply just using any of the additional ports. The back of the device itself has the AC input for the cord that comes with this device, and you can use that to charge this thing up. And you can also plug up a solar panel, and I think you can plug up to 220 watt solar panel. I personally have a 120 watt solar panel, charges this thing up just fine. So that is 4 ways to charge this thing up. That seems like a pretty good way. You have the solar panel, the AC, the USB-C, and then you can also charge this up with the DC port in your car. It is pretty small. My intent for this is to go with my portable bug out kit. Now, this is a bug out kit idea. I have an entire family. If we bug out, we're getting into a truck. We're getting into a vehicle, something similar to that. Otherwise, we're really just bugging in. Our goal is to stay in and through civil unrest or something similar to that. But I'm always coming up with different ideas on this channel for those that live in apartments, those that want to get to other family. Imagine you live in a city where your family lives in the suburbs, you live in the city, and you need to bug out to your family. Then this might be a solution that you put on a bike or something like that, and that might be able to help you get to your final destination. Now, my biggest, the feature I like the most of this is and it acts like an emergency power supply. Now, an emergency power supply is similar to an uninterruptible power supply or a UPS. This is an EPS, meaning that if you want to plug this up at a nightstand or a campsite or something like that, you plug this into the wall, you plug your device into this. If the power goes out within 30 milliseconds, This thing determines it's no longer getting power. It switches itself automatically on and will power the device, that's whatever device is plugged into it. A CPAP machine, for instance, something for your NICU baby. Those are two important things. I don't use a CPAP, but I have family members that do. And I did have a baby that was a NICU baby. Those are two critical items that I would want to be for this device. Now, for this bug out kit, I want to use this to power this electric bike that's behind me. And the goal for this is, if the electric bike can take me 30 to 50 miles, depending on your weight, and it needs to be recharged, this thing should be able to recharge this thing a couple of times to where essentially I could almost make my way near the border of Texas if I needed to. I'm not gonna do that, but if your bug out was hundreds of miles and you wanted to have an all-in-one system and you're using an electric bike or something like that, this is an actual viable solution for something like that. So a couple of other things I like about it, it is very fast charging. I have 2 portable power stations. Other one, not even gonna mention its name, takes 6 or 7 hours to charge. It can only be charged with USB Type-C. It's convenient, but it takes forever. This can be charged those 4 different ways. If you use the AC port, this thing literally charges in about 70 minutes. I mean, like 0 to 100% in 70 minutes. Now, how critical is that? If you forget to charge this, you're about to go to a soccer game, you're about to go to a basketball game, you're going to a game night, it would be nice to be able to plug this up and get about 50% power in about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, versus the other one that I have. It's a lot more sleek looking, name not be said. It looks way better, but this has a little bit more faster functionality for the charging purposes. This also includes a 5-year warranty. The warranty on the other one, not so great. For these portable power stations, their major competitors, EcoFlow is coming in and hitting they're knocking it out the park when it comes to the warranty. But 5-year warranty is something I haven't heard of for these products, especially when it comes to a worry-free warranty. It's not a limited lifetime warranty. Was it your fault? Wasn't it your fault? Send this in, let them know what the issue is, and they will diagnose and fix it, which I prefer. I don't want to see like, well, I don't want them to know that I accidentally sat on it and all of a sudden the AC ports don't work. They don't concern themselves with that, okay? At least for mine. I'm not going to say that's a 100% guarantee, but for me, that's the type of worry-free stuff that I don't want to have to worry about. And also the biggest thing is I love the fact this has a grab handle. There's so many of these power stations nowadays that don't include a grab handle, which doesn't make sense. I think that once you start to get bigger than this, you really need to have like a luggage roller type stuff. But having the grab handle makes a lot of sense for this. And you may not even concern yourself with this, but it has a little lip around here, meaning if you set something on this, it's not gonna go rolling off. Organically at a campsite in an emergency situation, you're gonna set something on here. You don't want it rolling off. It's a cosmetic thing, it's a first world problem, but I'm telling you, that's something that you will appreciate. Things I don't like about it. It doesn't have that much swag to it. I know it's an emergency portable power station, but the other one that I have has a leather handle and it has a nice color and it makes you want to use it. Like the other one I use in everyday scenarios to power my laptop around the house, and it fits in everyday situations. I would actually look like a weirdo walking around the house powering my laptop with this thing all day long. Mrs. X would be like, what the hell is wrong with you? But the other one, I literally walk around with it. No one says anything. So the lack of swag is something that I do point out. But this is for a bug out situation, so who really cares? Now, their literature says that this thing is a silent free situation. Not so much. It does make a little bit of noise, not to the point where it's going to disturb your sleep, but it clearly has an intake and an outtake fan on the side of this thing, which is designed to keep this down at optimal levels. And finally, another thing I would say is I do wish it had 2 of these solar input ports, mainly because this can take up to a 220 watt solar generator or solar panels, but it only has 1 port. My other one has 2 ports, meaning I can plug in 2 panels. They can both be 120 watts or it can be 220 watts, but this is only 1. It's a small thing, but I didn't notice that. I have my solar panel here and I did not notice that I would actually prefer to have that ability to plug 2 of these up if I really wanted to versus just the 1, because if I were to upgrade in the future and get like another 120, then I only can plug 1 of these up. I would like to be able to plug up 2. That's a small thing. It's not, you know, the simple solution would be X, get a 220 solar panel, but already own a 120. I would rather just get one more of these versus having to upgrade this, and so whatever. That's not a big deal. So this thing is pretty powerful. It can do all sorts of stuff pretty easily. You can plug up all sorts of devices, whatever you need in here. Anything from electronics to your benchtop grinders and stuff like that. I'll even show you, like, it's nonsensical, but I'll show you some stuff you can plug up. It thinks it has about 99 hours worth of power left, which is obviously nothing is being drained from it. So all right, so once you get this plugged up, you push the button that says AC on, and now you have power for the AC. And whichever one you want power for, you just press it on. These automatically have power to them. You have to turn on these barrel plugs and you have to turn on the AC, but you do that. Once this thing gets itself up, you see it ramped up to 420. And then it brings itself down to 228, which is its counted output. This is a product that I can say that I would actually spend my own money on. Shout out to EcoFlow for sending this out to your boy. But if they didn't send it out to me, I've had their competitors. We will not name them, but you've probably heard of them before. This is the most impressive when it comes to the most practical size portable power station. Until it's time for my full bug out situation, this is going to be used in emergency situations for my house. Comment down below, is this something that you would even consider? Would you put this a part of your bug out kit? Would you put this a part of your emergency kit? Do you already have something a part of those kits and I'm missing out on it? Let me know with your comments down below. If this is your first time stopping by, I would love to have you a part of the battalion. Hit that subscribe button and join us. We would love to have you here. If this is not your first time stopping by, thank you once again for stopping by and watching me run my grade. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.